Sir. How you doing today?
Good evening. Welcome to the UpTop Collective. I'm your host, Jay. Today we have three local cigar and wine heavyweights. We have Mr. Lovely, we have Rick from Sonoma Cellar, and then we have Cape from Cape Fear Cigar Experience.
My name is Lucky. I am the founder and creator of Lucky So Lovely Cigars and Events. We are a minority-owned, woman-owned small business local from the DMV. I am a mixologist, I'm a cigar enthusiast, and a certified cigar educator. I used to manage a cigar lounge in Southern Maryland. And it was very new to me. I was not a part of, I wasn't into smoking cigars at all. This was about 4 years ago. And I fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with just being able to come in and feel welcome and not feel so lost, in something that's so new. And I love hosting. I love talking to people. So it was a really good fit. So I started Lucky So Lovely about 6 months after I started working at the cigar lounge, and it started out as just hookah and bartending.
Is this like a club, or is this something that you have started altogether?
Not a club, just something that I started separately apart from the lounge where I was working.
Now, I'm sure you worked at the lounge, so any interesting stories or interactions, stories about cigars or industry?
I think my most interesting story is when I met Tobacco Kennedy. He's the founder of Black Smoke Miami, and I was intrigued because he was just full of knowledge, right? And I still was very, very green, very new to cigar smoking and just the cigar community, and he taught me about retrohale. And so he went through the steps and was telling us about, it was me and a few other staff members there, and he was going through how to retrohale. And I thought it was the most impossible thing ever, but I thought it was so cool. So I listened to him tell me how to retrohale. Retrohale is essentially just blowing smoke out of the cigar out of your nose. It's some people can do it easily, but cigar smoke is thick. It's not like cigarette smoke. And so it takes some training of your mind to and your capillaries to kind of get it all together. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoy it. But the purpose of it is to allow you to taste the flavors of your cigar. So you get a better feel for what you're smoking and what is in your cigar, what it's made with, where it came from when you do this retrohale. So that was one of my favorite, my favoriteest moments that I learned at the beginning of my breaking into the cigar industry.
These cigars, I would like you to put into a category. So basically, Liga 1, Smoke 1, Ash 1, and Trash 1. So Liga 9, we have Blind Man's Bluff, The King Is Dead, or Rocky Patel. How would you put it into it?
What was the first one? You said the Liga 9?
Liga 9.
Smoke, Ash, or Trash?
Yeah.
Liga 9, I would smoke.
Rocky Patel.
What are the other options?
So we have The King Is Dead, and then you have the Davidoff.
I would ash the Davidoff and...
Maybe the price is too high?
Let's see what else. Is it smoke, ash, and trash, or just smoke and trash?
Smoke, ash, and trash.
Well, what's the difference between the smoke and ash?
So
ash is in the middle. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like wine. It's drinkable, but it's not memorable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I'm sure Liga 9, as you mentioned, and Davidoff is something kind of like, not an everyday smoke.
Right.
Maybe because the prices.
And then the other two.
And then you have a Rocky Patel. And Leaf by Oscar.
Oh, I'm smoking the leaf.
Oh, so you're not. So you like the Leaf by Oscar. All right. So
Smoking the leaf.
it's probably what?
I mean, not trash, but just, you know, for this. I'm sorry, I'm trashing the Rocky. Is that a decade too?
Don't forget you're on camera.
I know. Right, didn't I just tell you this?
Well, thanks, Lucky. So the next one.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So the next one we have Rick, basically from the Sonoma restaurant. He's the owner, so we're gonna ask him to introduce who he is, tell us how did he get into the restaurant business with wine.
Thank you. I'm Rick Meilenbeck, and I am the co-owner, along with my wife, of Sonoma Cellar here on King Street in Old Town Alexandria. And we have, because we're from Sonoma County, we had this idea when we came out to the East Coast that maybe we could open up a California-inspired wine tasting room and see how well it would work. And so on day one after that idea, we realized that there are no freestanding bars in Virginia. You have to, in order to serve alcohol, you have to have a restaurant. And so that complicated things immediately, and we probably should have picked up our bags and ran, but instead we went big and continued to go big, and here we are. Sonoma Cellar just passed its 6th year in business, and this is our 300th consecutive cigar night. So 3 weeks after our grand opening, in October of 2015, we had our first cigar night. We have never missed a Tuesday night since, with the exception of COVID for 11 weeks where we weren't allowed to converge. So tonight's 300.
So what are your favorites in terms of wines? Is it the Port, Cabernet? What kind of wine your favorites? And if you were to list 3 of them, how would you grade them from top to the least favorites?
So everybody knows that I'm a big Zinfandel fan. So if you haven't had a good Zin, come and visit us, and we could step you through some good to great Zins. So Zin is it for me. I mean, I like a good Syrah, Petit Syrah, Cabernet. I'm a big chewy red guy. Although whites have their place, and I like a good Pinot Grigio or a Cabernet, Chardonnay. Chardonnay. Yep. So, yeah, wide variety.
So, are you planning on expanding your wine and restaurant business in the future, or?
This is a good plenty. We if you haven't been in the restaurant business, we started from scratch with just an idea, and here we are. And it's been a great experience without a doubt. But as they say, restauranting is tough, and it really is. So we're looking at a second site maybe, and that's a possibility. And we just continue to get better here with our food menu. We've got great reviews, and our wine list is recognized as the top 10 most notable wine lists in all of Washington, D.C. by Open Table. So we're honored by that because we're up against some big hotels that have international collections, and then there's scrappy Sonoma Cellar that's focused on New World wines. It's pretty much made in America, so we're really proud of that.
Now, as you know, we're going through a pandemic, so do you think it has really massively impacted your business, or is it growing? What has been the result so far?
Yes, it massively impacted everybody's business. We went from 27 people to 2. But we had a lot of people that loved what we do, and they went out of their way to carry out food from us. And we're back up to 27 plus, almost all former employees.
Okay.
The PPP money was absolutely a godsend, and like many others, it really helped us out. And so without that, I think we probably would have survived, but the PPP money certainly helped our employees. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Rick. Thank you.
I wanted to say that I'm glad that you don't have to taste wine by breathing it out through your nose.
Yeah, we don't have to retrohale
Right.
I think it's just with cigars.
Yes.
So, what's the best pairing with your cigar and wine if you were to suggest to a client that is his first time or her first time smoking?
I would say go for a mild cigar and go for a large to bold red
Red.
So I would definitely go Cabernet Syrah and a big Zinfandel. All would pair very, and a good Merlot. Merlots are coming in pretty strong too.
So what's the best seller though in terms of what people really like?
Well, interestingly enough, our biggest seller is Pinot Noir,
Okay.
which if you get a big cigar, that'll probably overwhelm the flavor of the wine. So if you, that's why I say go with a mild cigar, and then let the wine kind of do the talking. But if you just want to enjoy a good cigar, then just get the kind of wine you like and just have a good time. Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you, Rick.
Joy to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So next in line we have Kate from Cigar Experience. So tell us who you are, how did you get into the industry, and introduce you to cigars,
Cool.
passion basically.
All right, well, thanks for having me, first of all. My name is Ernest Guerin. I'm the founder of Cape Fear Cigar Experience, and we're a veteran-owned small cigar company specializing in cigar events, retailing. Basically, think of a pop-up, but we do it in terms of a cigar lounge. And so I got into it, long story short, I'm a CRA ambassador, Cigar Rights of America ambassador. And when I was active duty, I was assigned in Hawaii. And so at the time, they didn't have a lot of nice cigar lounges in Hawaii. There was like one or two. So whenever there was a cigar event, instead of the typical, go to the lounge, some chicken wings, a couple of box specials, they would have to rent space at a hotel because it's in Hawaii, it's in Waikiki. So basically you would have cigars, wine, liquor, beer, and because you're doing it at the hotel, they'd have to cater it. So it was basically every event was like, it was a huge event, a huge evening of, liquor, cigars, fellowship, good food. And I thought, we didn't have that kind of thing on the mainland. So I decided at that point, when I got back to the mainland, I was going to put something like that in place. And so that's how Cape Fear Cigar Experience was born.
So
Cheers, man. That's awesome.
Yes, cheers.
first we're gonna cheers.
Yes.
Now tell us what inspired you to get into the Cigar Rights of America? Some of the causes. I know some work Cigar Rights of America has done for the cigar industry. Every time there's a tax increase and the fight for it. So if you could just kind of walk us through.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great question. Appreciate that. So, again, when I was active duty, I was assigned in Colorado at the time. And a friend of mine, he was a CRA ambassador. And I'd go to their events and I'd see him working. There would be people out having a good time, doing their thing. But he was always educating people about what could happen, if we don't stay vigilant, about what's going on Capitol Hill. And so I thought, I love cigars. I kind of felt like I wanted to get into the industry at that point. So I figured, hey, if I can contribute to that, I should do that. And so that's how I got involved with CRA. An amazing thing happened. I really got immersed in the culture then. Because before I was just, a casual cigar smoker. But then when you start to find out more about, the culture, the history, the challenges that are faced by the people who retail cigars, who make cigars, it really motivated me to, be a part of it more than just smoking the cigars and buying them. I just wanted to make sure that the cigar industry stuck around because, let's face it, that's why we're all here, because we love that industry. So I just love to educate people about that, and, let them know what they can do to help out.
So are you based in Virginia or you guys go all over the country?
So we're based in Virginia Beach, but right now I'm licensed to retail in North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. And so when I retired from the Air Force in 2016, Northern Virginia was kind of my central point. And so we focused on events all around that area. 2018 moved down to Virginia Beach and had to, took a little while to get my footing there because every region kind of has its own cigar culture. But, you start going to shops, start talking to people, then you start getting the events and you start learning, about, what's important to people in that area.
That's good. Now, in terms of cigars, if you were to, really pick a one cigar, right? I know it's a hard question, but every cigar smoker has a cigar that they truly are in love with it, becomes their daily smoke. And if, in their case, what cigar you think in your mind that is worth the price, is a quality smoke that you would like to smoke and enjoy?
So I will caveat this with, and you guys know this, it's all about what mood you're in. When I wake up, I'm craving one thing. By the time, the evening comes, I'm sipping bourbon or wine, I'm craving something else. But I would have to say probably the cigar that I would always take is a Liga 9. I mean that's a cigar that just about everybody loves and with good reason. So that would probably be if I had one box of cigars that I could that on a desert island, one box of cigars, that would probably be the cigar that I would choose.
That's good. So I'm gonna ask you 3 cigars to pick. All right, from top to the least favorites.
Okay.
You've got the King is Dead by Caldwell.
Okay.
You've got Leaf by Oscar Valdez, and then you've got Rocky Patel.
All right. So from the top, I would go Leaf because I'm actually smoking one of those right now. I often smoke those. In the middle, I guess it would be the Liga. Even though that would be the one cigar that I would have on that desert island, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I'm actually smoking a Leaf right now. So I would smoke both of those. And I would say probably the Rocky Patel. And nothing against Rocky. Oh, no, the King is Dead, right? Okay, I was listening to the other question. Great cigar. But, I mean, obviously I'm smoking a Leaf. I chose Liga as my number one. I wouldn't trash that King is Dead. I would save it for later.
Okay.
Maybe save it for later. You
Right,
know?
not trash
Right.
it, right?
Absolutely. There's no way I'm
We're not
trashing that.
trashing cigars.
No way.
Right.
Well, that's good. I want to thank each panel, for coming out, and
cheers.
I want to thank Rick basically
Thank you
for
so much for
having us
having me. I
for the 300 nights, at Sonoma Cellar, and I want to thank UpTop Cigars, for really arranging this and partnering up with Rick to make this happen. We're having a great time. Plenty of people. If
Every
you are
Tuesday
in
night at
the GMV,
Sonoma Cellar, cigar night.
So
And the food
in the
is
GMV
amazing.
basically.
Absolutely.
Got that
Every
part.
Tuesday, what Rick and UpTop Cigar, what we do is basically have a cigar night where people come together, smoke, eat, and see some great wine. So I want to thank each panel, Randy from Cape Cigar Experience, Rick from Sonoma Cellar, and I want to thank, like I